How are we getting on, folk? Um, Look at not really the best of days in Tipperary. Like realistically, when we had the two non-runners, as we had, as we had really, it didn't really play to our cause. I know Lack and Scale Lady looked to be the one they were really going for, and Cotty then as well. Two Rachel Blackmore horses. It was just unfortunate. Look at we called it wrong, and we have to regroup and regenerate the batteries and everything else like that. Moving on to tomorrow, Ballinrobe generally hasn't necessarily been a great track for me in the past. I know, look at things do change and everything else like that, but it's just it's a very hard course to get things right in terms of a betting perspective, and there's going to be, in my opinion, going to be an awful lot of upsets now tomorrow. Heavy ground isn't going to necessarily be what an awful lot of the favourites in here would be liking, and I would be expecting a few of these to be overturned now tomorrow. Starting off though at 4:30, Irish Poseidon heads to market, currently odds on. I will be avoiding them on a day in proper summer ground and in proper good ground. I would be all over this horse. I think he is definitely one very talented sort for the future, but just his overall record in heavy-ish ground, in terms of heavy ground, he hasn't run on heavy ground since he was running over in Germany. And even at that, he didn't set the world alight, and he didn't look, what's the word I'm looking for? He didn't look to be a real, let's just say, a real showstopper, like what we've seen of him in the likes of Dundalk and over hurdles there around Christmas when the ground wasn't as testing as it is now. We have had an absolute downpour of rain in the past couple of hours. You name it, has probably been the worst thunderstorm that we've had, I've experienced in quite some time. But there's one in here that I'm really liking in particular, and providing that it handles the heavy ground, is going to be coming in here with a seriously good chance, and that is Galley Flight for Philip Fenton and JJ Slevin, currently priced at 16-1. Look at it, it's going to be one of my big price each ways of the day. I think realistically, for those who would be definitely interested, like realistically, when you look down through his breeding ranges all the way up to 3 mile 2. So over 2 miles over hurdles, or 2 mile 2, let's just say, like what it is tomorrow. I think the heavy ground is definitely going to be in his favor, simply because on good ground, he'd probably be caught for a little bit too much toe. And simply being that he's just going to be, I suppose, in a steadier run race. And look at, hopefully it's going to be something that's definitely very, very interesting. It was a very good debut. Fourth, all he has to do is improve a small bit, and he's bang there here, providing he does handle the more heavy ground and everything else like that. I think he's definitely a great each way play at 16-1. Moving on then to the 5 o'clock, and we're going straight into the nap of the day. And for me, I'm going to be going to a horse that I've let's just call him a cliff horse. Palm Beach looks to have got his mojo back in gear. Currently priced at even money. I think realistically he is the one they all have to beat. There's not really much in here to suggest that anything is going to be beating him. I think realistically, when you look down through the field, it's a fairly weak contest. Palm Beach was touted as Joseph O'Brien's triumph horse. It didn't necessarily pan out that way. And there we have him running in Ballinrobe. And realistically, look at, if he's the horse that they say he is, he shouldn't be even grazing the grass around Ballinrobe. He should be avoiding it at all costs more so than anything else. But I think the way the course is laid out, it really does suit him. He was a very impressive winner in Kilbeggan. Ballinrobe isn't too dissimilar to it. And look, at realistically, I think he is coming in here with a really, really good chance. Even money is definitely great value. It's double your money at the end of the day. I think he is definitely one to be really, really getting behind, and I think he is going to be a star for next year's, I suppose, hurdle campaign. 5:30 then, and another. I suppose you could play him each way. I've him gone down to win. No memory here. I was really, really interested in High Street Roller before the heavy rain started falling. I think realistically the ground is just going to be too bad for him. It's very, very holding. It's very sticky and everything else like that. And look, at realistically, the fact that Darragh O'Keefe chooses him ahead of Home Baby is definitely, it's a bit of a tip in itself. Obviously, Darragh O'Keefe knows Home Baby very, very well, and he knows exactly what needs to be done on Home Baby. But siding with Tom Gibney, definitely very interesting as well. But no memory for me. Currently priced at 5-1 for Rachel Blackmore. Trained by William O'Brien. You don't necessarily see that combination happen too much. Normally, when Rachel goes for these smaller trainers or siding away from the usual trainers, let's just say, it generally turns out to be a fairly decent winner. And I definitely think the fact that she is definitely one of the jockeys of the year is definitely a nice enough price at 5-1. You could play it each way, providing I suppose the markets are in your favor. If you can get one there at a quarter of the odds, even a fifth of the odds to ensure you don't lose any money as such. But yeah, I think realistically, this horse is definitely going to be bang there in the finish. Now, moving on then to the 6 o'clock, and this is actually the patron pick of the day. I'm very, very much liking to see this. My horse has been absolutely smashed in the market. Really, really like the look of this one. 6:30. We were siding away from Darragh O'Keefe in the last race. We're going to be siding with him this time. Ray O'Connor, coming from the family of the great O'Connor. Realistically, I think this lad here potentially is starting to come into form and start looking to really take the heights now. Realistically, his last run was a very decent run in Tipperary the last day, when fifth behind Junior Rattler, That's Life by Siberian Star, ahead of Fizzle Sticks, Craig and Ned, April's Moon, Chenery, Art's Furies, Desert Island, Dr. Scirocco, Chosen Hour, There'll Always Be One, A Different World, and Our Lucas and Paper Lantern pulled up. Realistically, if he puts in that run, especially in ground that he does favour, 8-1 is definitely a very, very good price, and he's definitely well worth an each way, and an each way play at that. It's an open affair. It's a competitive race. I think Darragh O'Keefe aboard O'Connor is definitely the way to go in this one. Expect to see a very, very bold showing from Ray O'Connor. 7 o'clock. This one here is going to be the next best of the day, and realistically, it is a toss-up between Keen Kyle and Great Can. If Great Can gets his jumping in order, and if Great Can get back to his usual ways, he is going to be an outrageous horse, and he's going to be winning this by a country mile, in my opinion. I think Keen Kyle is definitely going to set the pace. Usually what he does do. I think realistically 9-4 for him. He's getting on in life now. Well, so is Great Can. Both of them are the same age, but look, at realistically, it's in my opinion, Darragh O'Keefe aboard for Edward O'Grady is definitely the one I will be siding with, and Great Can, horse that's just hit the crossbar a couple of times now so far this year, is definitely the way to be siding. He threw the race away in Thurles last time out, or was it last time out? No, it wasn't last time out. It was the time before that. But generally, his best form comes on heavyish ground, soft to heavy ground. His only win came around Clonmel in February 2018 in heavy ground. So make it at what you will. I think 3-1 is definitely great value. We know he'll handle the ground, providing he jumps a little bit better. He's going to be a very, very hard horse to stop. Now, moving on then to the 7:30, and one of the only favorites I'm going to be siding with here. I know I have Palm Beach. That's actually the only favorite I have. Memorable Dacia at 9-4 is definitely one I will be siding with, and let me explain why. The last day it ran a fairly credible race. Now, it was green as grass and reasonably so. It was a first time out horse. Probably didn't show its full potential that day. I'm just checking in the market what way he went. Okay, so he was heavily backed. Opened up at 15-8, backed into 11-8, and didn't necessarily show his true worth. But I think if settling a little bit better and really, I suppose, taking to racing, I think it's definitely going to be one they all have to beat. Coming from Willie Mullins, if Willie can't get this horse winning a bumper, generally they don't turn out to be too much. Now, saying that, Sky Ace never won a bumper for Willie Mullins, and she ended up being a Grade 1 winning mare. But yeah, Memorable Dacia, it's a weak enough race. I wouldn't necessarily be going hell for leather on it, but 9-4, it's a nice price. Realistically, it looks to be the one they all have to beat and should realistically take all the beating. But look, I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. We're at 491 subscribers. We're 9 away from the 500 mark. Please just hit that button if you haven't already done so. You'll be notified of every single video that goes up. As well as that, keep liking the photo and keep liking the videos, keep commenting under the videos, doing whatever you need to do. If you want to sign up to the Patreon, I leave a link in the description below for those who would be signing up and wouldn't necessarily know the way that works. I would be advising to, I suppose, wait until the 1st of June, simply because it'll be an automatic payment on the 1st of June as well. So it's just out of our hands that way. That's the way Patreon work it. They work it on an automatic basis. So instead of paying for a week and then having to pay for the next month then as well, just for the sake of yourselves, you know yourself, we have been absolutely on fire though. We have been absolutely on fire between myself and Ryan. If one doesn't turn up, the other one definitely does. Ryan had 2 wins on the trot there between the past couple of days, an 8-1 winner and a 3-1 winner. I had an 11-2 winner a couple of days ago as well. So look, at realistically, we do put out some very, very good tips and very good knowledge as well. The fact that we are coming into the peak of the flat season as well is definitely going to be in Ryan's favour more so than mine. But look, we have to make the most of it, and that's exactly why I have Ryan on board. He is the man for the flat all day, every day. But look, please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing if you are going to be having a bet. And I do stress this, please make sure it's minimum stakes around Ballinrobe with me. It's just for fun. Don't go hell for leather on it. It's one of the most trickiest tracks in Ireland. Just be safe, be responsible, and just when the fun stops, stop. And look, please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. The very, very best of luck to you all tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be back in winners and everything else like that. Okay, folks, thanks very much.